Friday Refresh brought to you by Collision's Auto Repair Services in Killen, Alabama. You can contact them at 256-272-2007. In every walk in nature, one receives far more than he seeks. John Muir. This past Saturday, I got to enjoy a nothing day. We didn't have any formal plans, so we slept in a little later than usual, and then we went to our friend's house to ride Jeeps and four-wheelers and then walk the creek. We saw some local wildlife, looked for fossils, creek glass, smooth stones for skipping, and interesting rocks for keeping. We chatted and mused over the way God's creativity or forces of God's nature had carved out this little creek among the towering bluffs surrounding it. The kids challenged their bravery by jumping off large boulders into the creek below. The day ended with burgers and hot dogs and some time around the fire pit. Nothing days have become a favorite. We live a pretty fast-paced existence with appointments and kids' activities and ministry. So while they are few and far between, there is certainly a desire to make them more of the norm. Something just feels right about the creek sand in your toes and the cool water flowing across your feet while the breeze comes down the holler and gently rustles the trees. The writer Mary Davis said, "A walk in nature walks the soul back home." I'm not sure what her religious leanings were, but there is some pretty deep truth contained in her statement. In Genesis 2:8, the author informs us that God made man somewhere outside the garden and then placed him in it. He created him in the wild and placed him in the more tame. But the garden was also nature, and with every walk, it seemed he would also commune with the God who designed and formed each of the living things in it. Home was a beautifully untouched garden of life and blessings that God himself loaded with good things for his creation. And while they eventually lost that perfect Eden, God left a wonderful world of wonders to be discovered and explored. And as each one of us explores a part of our soul's journey back home, it communes with God who made us and the nature that surrounds us. And thus that simple walk with my kids, whose eyes were full of wonder, ended up giving me much more than I initially sought after. I sought adventure and I found rest. I sought thrills and I found calm. I sought a day of fun and I found really a day of peace. My guess is that wherever you are right now, you're probably not more than an hour away from a creek or a hiking trail or a nature preserve. When's the last time you had a nothing day? The weekend starts in just a few hours. You need a break. You need to go back home to nature, if only for an hour or two. You may find that you receive even more than you seek. And that is your Friday Refresh.